My name is Owura. I'm doing an apprenticeship in accountancy, specifically the audit department. At the end of my apprenticeship, I'll get my level 4 AAT in accountancy, and then I'll move on to my ACA. In A-levels, I studied economics, geography, and psychology. I had a feeling I wanted to do an apprenticeship, but I wasn't set on it. I was more focused on getting the highest grades possible going into university. The main advice I got was from my father. My father told me to not count out any other options, and if I want to do an apprenticeship, put my all into it, don't be half-hearted. He made sure I was preparing for my questions, my interviews every single day, making sure I knew everything about the company that I wanted to apply for. The students that don't have this, they can first of all speak to their teachers at school. They can reach out to current apprentices. They can look on TikTok. There's a lot of information on TikTok about what you should do for interviews and when applying. They can look on the company they want to apply for, their website, because some companies, they give you advice on how you should apply for the apprenticeship. I did, yes, because it's a huge difference from going to school every day, the professional world. When you're going to school, the teachers are telling you what to do, how to do it. In the professional world, you're doing things on your own accord. No one's there telling you, oh, you should be here at this time. Everything's on your own accord. So it was quite daunting. I'd say studying 50-50. I'd say studying more because I like working by myself. So when I'm studying by myself and I'm learning something new on the spot, but that's the same with working. When I'm working, I'm getting that hands-on experience. But for now, I'd say studying. I can't speak for everyone, but I'd say the majority of people do experience rejection because not everyone's going to get into every apprenticeship. It's natural to get rejected. So I'm a religious person. Whenever I was rejected for an opportunity, I would pray and then I'd think to myself, God's got everything under control. If I've been rejected for this, then it means it's just not for me and there's something better waiting for me. That's how I handled rejection. Very important. I'd say it's one of the most important things because if you don't ask, you won't know. People can't read your mind. When you ask, you find out new things and you can note it down in your notebook, for example, like I did, so you don't have to continue asking people again and again. I'd say there's no such thing as stupid questions. It's only stupid when you don't ask, because it's better for you to ask and look stupid than you to be quiet, and that's you actually being stupid, in my opinion. I'd say the independence, like in full-time education, being told what to do, but being prompted, the homework's due for this date, for that date. In the professional world, working full-time, you're doing everything on your own accord. You have to reach the office for a certain time on your own accord. No one's going to tell you, where are you? So I'd say that's the biggest difference. I'd say working. Working's been my most enjoyable thing. I've learned so much since I started 1 year ago. Things that I looked at when I started my apprenticeship, I was so confused, thinking it's almost gibberish to me. Now everything's fluent to me, everything makes sense. So that's the thing I've enjoyed the most. I wouldn't say they're hard. They're definitely achievable. They're not easy, but if you put the work in, you can definitely achieve it. So at the beginning of the week, we have a weekly meeting with our team, our department, and we talk about what audits we're going to work on, what work we have throughout the week. After this, I'll talk with my audit team and they'll tell me what work I'm going to be doing throughout the week. And then from there, I'll continue working on that till midday, around 12, and then I'll have my lunch. After lunch, I'll usually do some bank letters work, which is me getting bank confirmations from the banks for different clients. And then I'll finish my work day around 4 to 5 p.m. and then I'll study for 1 hour. I was the first apprentice to pass majority of my exams first time without having to retake. I'd say that's my biggest achievement so far. I'd say the team social events. So in our department, every couple of months, we do a social event, whether that's playing rounders when it's sunny, or going to the pub, or having a dinner with the team. And I like that a lot because you get to know your team members more, you're more relaxed, it's not straight work, and it makes you feel more part of the team. I know it's cliche, but I'd say be yourself. Any personal experiences you have, use that to apply that to the questions you're going to answer. For example, a question they might ask you is, why accountancy? You could then say, oh, my father's worked in accountancy, or my family member has done this. I'd say that helps you to stand out. Also, know the company inside and out in detail and the apprenticeship you're applying for. My attention to detail. This really helped me in my interviews when I was applying for my apprenticeship. Whenever I'm working on anything, I go over it several times to make sure everything's correct and everything's accurate. That's one of my biggest strengths. There's not many students who have the opportunity to speak to someone about what they should do when applying to apprenticeships. So these students do have the opportunity to speak to someone so I can share my knowledge and my experience of what I went through. I think it's important for me to help young people obtain their apprenticeship so they do have a fair chance in applying for what they want to do. One thing I would have asked is, do I get any free time? Because the huge misconception about apprenticeships is that it's straight work, a 9 to 5, you don't get much free time. Another question I'd ask is, what's the workload balance like? And the last question I'd ask is, where can I go after this? I'm Owura. I'm a mentor at Success at School Ask an Apprentice community. I'm available to answer your questions about audit apprenticeships or anything to do with accountancy.